and welcome to the History Channel. I'm your host, Clarice Miles, and we have a lot of interesting stories for you today. First, we have Bella with a story of modern-day China. Bella? Stop.
Let's talk about China. First of all, there have been two main dynasties in China, the Qin and the Han. As you know, the Qin dynasty existed from 221 to 206 BC. The first emperor, and possibly the most famous, was Shi Huangdi. He was a harsh ruler who would banish or kill anyone who opposed him. Now, many of the people liked him, but he did create legalism, which taught that rulers should be strong and govern with force because people were naturally bad. Although legalism was harsh, the policies unified and strengthened the dynasty. Shi Huangdi also standardized the laws, writing, coins, and weights and measures across China. The Qin dynasty fell because the people were angry about how harsh rulers were. When Shi Huangdi died, people started rebelling and the dynasty fell. Now to the Han. The Han dynasty has gone on from 206 BC to 80 to 220. Liu Bang was the peasant who led a rebellion and took over the Qin dynasty. He showed the people that he ruled by the mandate of heaven. To gain the people's loyalty, he softened all the harsh Qin legalist policies and lowered all the taxes. He made sure to keep a strong central government so that he could have remaining control. During Liu Bang's rule, Confucianism made a comeback, which shaped a lot of the Han culture. After Liu Bang died, his son was to take over, but he was too young, so his mother became the empress. To keep the dynasty under her power, she had a series of infants so that she could keep the power. After she died, the whole family was killed. Wudi was the next ruler who has helped the Han dynasty prosper, which brings us to what's happening now. So far during his rule, he has promoted economic growth by making new roads and canals. That's all it is for China right now. Now let's go to Clarice.
Thank you, Bella. And now for Amy Ashley with some fascinating facts about Chinese economy.
I'm Amy Ashley, reporting to you live from the Han Dynasty. Things over here are booming as the economy prospers. With more land that we include into our empire, the more successful we become. Trade with India and other civilizations has never been better. Despite the fact that we can never give away our secrets on making silk, the other countries cannot get enough of it. The artisans and merchants have been working hard to create and trade our materials such as silk, tea, alcohol, and salt. A turning point in trade occurred when we discovered spices, which changed the culinary world forever. Because of the new roads and canals installed, trading has never been easier, and thanks to our wonderful emperor, Wudi, the empire is finally at peace. Back to you, Bella.
That was a riveting article, Amy. And now back to Bella with Chinese culture.
To go more in depth about the Han dynasty, we need to talk about the culture. One major part of the Han culture comes from Confucianism. With Confucianism in the government, many of the customs have been adopted by the whole dynasty. There are also many people who practice Buddhism, which has been brought to China through India by trade. Speaking of trade, trading has improved here in the Han dynasty due to the new roads and canals that are popping up everywhere thanks to our Emperor Wudi. Arts are another thing that many of the Han people contributed. There are an abundance of paintings as well as new architecture that is helping to shape our culture. As for literature, well, the Han has created their own style of poetry called Fu. The Han dynasty has also invented many new things in the medical and scientific fields. Some of these inventions are paper, iron plow, a wheelbarrow, seismograph, a compass, acupuncture, and the ship's rudder. And now back to Clarice.
Thanks, Bella. And now let's get down to business and talk about some politics with Meg.
And now moving on to everyone's favorite topic, politics. Last week was the death of our beloved Li Bang. He was such a great contributor to the Han dynasty by spreading Buddhism throughout the society. He also unified and pacified us. What an amazing leader. To top all of these great contributions off, he created the genius idea of civil services. Civil services is a challenging test that allows anyone into the government as long as you pass. This is an interview of Tang Li, someone who took the civil service test. So Tang, what were your results on the civil service test?
Well, I thought I did pretty good, but it turns out I only got a 67 out of 100.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Tang. What were some of the questions like on the test?
There were like some math and like a lot of government and history stuff.
Were they difficult?
Yeah, like some were easy, but some were like really hard, you know?
Well, thank you, Tang, for coming and talking to us about your civil service test experience.
No problem.
Well, that's just fascinating. Now Clarice with the Daily Feel Good story.
The Chinese feel-good coming at ya. The Han Dynasty is reaching its peak with the ruler of Emperor Wudi. Emperor Wudi is energetic, aggressive, and can be considered the greatest Han ruler of all time. He strengthened our community by promoting economic growth. Last week, he built a new road in our town and a canal in the town next to us. These new forms of transportation make it much easier for farmers and merchants to get their products to market. Emperor Wudi has also made a vast amount of new money by setting up monopolies on salt, iron, and alcohol. By doing these things, Emperor Wudi has made the Han Dynasty a much better place to live. Thank you. That's all we have for you about China. Now, let's talk about India. Before the Mauryan Empire came about, India was made up of many small kingdoms, including Magadha, located near the Ganges River in northeastern India. Magadha had a strong leader named Chandragupta Maurya. He gained control and started conquering surrounding kingdoms. Eventually, he created our home, the Mauryan Empire. The empire rose to power after we conquered Alexander the Great's army and marched into India. Alexander had defeated many powerful Indian forces, which inspired Maurya to seize the throne of the kingdom of Magadha. Maurya created a huge army, defeating most of northern India. He also established a strong, centralized government to control his empire and crush any resistance that might prevail. Throughout his rule, Maurya relied on a brilliant advisor named Kautilya, who was a Brahmin. Under the influence of Kautilya, Maurya divided his empire into districts, appointing leaders to each section. Maurya later gave up his throne to his grandson, Ashoka, to become a Jainist monk. Ashoka is now our fierce ruler who, after seeing the harsh realities of the war, has decided to stop the violence and convert to Buddhism. He now preaches the teachings of Buddhism daily. Hopefully more of this good fortune is to come. That's all for now. Now let's go to Allie Whitty with a story on economy.
Now for some information about our economy. Did you know that the Silk Road opened? It opened 5 days ago, and wow, it has done great things for our empire. Since this road opened, we have been able to trade with different cities and empires that we were not able to before. And that is great news that we have never been able to do. And we are in the perfect place, right between road and hooked to the Silk Road. India is in the ideal spot for people who are traveling to stop for a night or a couple days and just give us some money. Being a stop on the Silk Road has increased our wealth. With people staying in our cities and people traveling, buying goods, the money is coming in fast and it's great. This new transportation system links India to the markets on the Mediterranean Sea, Africa, and China, increasing our trade distance without getting in the ocean. With the travel and trading, we are spreading our culture into Southeast Asia. This is a great plus to us. So go check out the Silk Road and buy some new goods. Back to you, Clarice.
Thank you, Allie. Now how about you tell us about some Indian culture?
Breaking news. People have figured out that there are 7 planets. We now have predicted eclipses, and Aryabhata just recently said that the Earth rotates on an axis and revolves around the sun. These advances in knowledge are just the beginning of new advances in our technology. Just yesterday, news released from the Sky Council about planets and predicting eclipses. Also, scientists have made medical science advances as to make medicine made from plants minerals that are injected into people. Also, doctors are now doing surgeries, repairing broken bones, and treating wounds. All of these advances. People yesterday also finally figured out metallurgy, the science of making metals. This work with metallurgy has allowed the people to work with new buildings in the city. People also started using this new label system called Hindu-Arabic numbers, which is currently being used to label things in the city. Who knows what they're doing? New art pieces, sculptures, statues, and temples are going up with our modern clothes and jewelry, as well as our paintings in the caves. So check them out around India. Now back to you, Clarice.
That was very interesting, Allie. And now let's talk about some politics with Meg.
Once again, this is Meg Harksey with everyone's favorite topic, politics. Now some breaking news about one of the greatest leaders in Indian history, Ashoka. Fun fact about Ashoka, he loved animals. He just recently converted to Buddhism. We believe that when Ashoka converted to Buddhism, all of India did as well. This has led the future of India on a path of nonviolence and unity. Thanks to Ashoka, other religions are being introduced and tolerated by our fellow Indians, such as Hinduism. But not only has Ashoka spread Buddhism, he's also expanded the empire and created new stupas for us. After his grandfather Chandragupta died, he took over his place and kept expanding the empire from what was already there. His grandfather would be so proud. This concludes our politics bit for today.
Now on a lighter note, let's go to Amy Ashley with a feel-good story.
I'm Amy Ashley reporting to you live from the Gupta Empire. Life in this empire has never been better. The age is so peaceful and successful that they are calling it the Gupta Golden Age. Artists, writers, scholars, and scientists have invented advances that have made life better for everyone. Playwrights and stories have brought joy to not only children, but everyone who can read Sanskrit. Several temples have been built to honor the religions of India, mainly Buddhism and Hinduism. The buildings are so beautiful and strong that I bet they will be standing for 1,000 years from now. Hundreds of lives are being saved by the new medical advances such as surgeries, mending broken bones, and much more. Astronomers have concluded that the world is indeed round and it is constantly moving. From how things are looking now, we are excited to find out what's next to come.
That's all for now, folks. I hope to see you next time on the History Channel.
Have a great evening.
Bye.